Hey guys, welcome back to another video, and just like my last video, today's video is going to be doing the AFC South after doing the NFC South just a couple days ago. I'm really excited to keep the series going. I'm having a lot of fun with it. So if you guys do want to see more of this series, leave a like, comment, and subscribe. Hit that notification bell to be notified when I go, when I post next. And on top of that, hit the notification bell to be notified when I go live, because I will be live all NFL draft probably at minimum the first 2 days. But April 28th and April 29th will be my sports stuff draftathon. Everything's ready for it. I'm just waiting for those days to come. So if you guys do want to watch me and react to the picks, what's going to happen, have my mock draft on screen, doing breakdowns of almost every single pick in the first and second round. I'm really excited for the draftathon. I have it off for work. I'm going to be chilling on the couch, watching it with you guys, and hopefully you want to join me. So again, hit the notification bell to be notified when I go live for the draftathon. Let's get into this video. So, a couple days ago, I did the NFC South mock drafts where I drafted for all 4 teams, and I said this is what I think I'd do if I was a GM of these teams, instead of just doing a first round or second round mock draft. It's those teams. So what I'm gonna be doing is now the AFC South, and if you guys want to comment down below what division you want me to do next. It's gonna have to be on the NFC side. So you want to watch me do the NFC North, East, or West, and then obviously you want to do the NFC version. I'll then post the AFC version later in the week. But let's get into it. Let's finish the AFC South. So, there we go. I'm excited. So, first is going to be the Jaguars because they have the earliest pick, I believe. So, let me actually reorganize that. There we go. So, they have the earliest pick. So, I'm going to be doing the Jaguars first. So, with the first pick overall, I still went with Kayvon Thibodeau. I think Kayvon Thibodeau is definitely the best pass rusher in this class. I love Aiden Hutchinson. I really do. But, I mean, I feel like people are overblowing his immaturity and personality issues. I don't care. Him and Josh Allen would cause a amazing duo at defensive edge for the AFC South in a division where I feel like the tackles overall are pretty mid. I can't sure there's Larry Tunsil. You got Taylor Lewan, Brandon Smith. I don't know if Brandon Smith is the tackle in with the Colts. I can't remember their tackle. I'm pretty sure it's Braden Smith, but I just feel like if you can get a dynamic duo at the edge position, you can run that division's pass rush, become Saxonville once again, just like in 2017. But I feel like you're further away from 2017 than you are closer. But this does take this takes a step closer to becoming the dominant defense that you once were. And he fits the system just like Leo Chenal does. So Leo Chenal is a perfect fit for their man-heavy blitz scheme under Mike Caldwell. It's basically the same defensive scheme that's carrying over from last year, and Leo Chenal is the perfect linebacker for that. He's really good in coverage, and he's dominant in the run defense. I believe he had almost a PFF record, but only behind Micah Parsons from last year. I think he had a 98.1, and Micah Parsons had a 98.8. So he almost had the record for the best run defense from a linebacker ever in PFF recorded history. So Leo Chenal, I really like Leo Chenal. He has all the tools I would want in a linebacker, and in a blitz-heavy scheme where they run man a lot, that's exactly what they need in the linebacker position, especially after releasing Miles Jack. Next up is Isaiah Likely. He's been rising up my board. I still have Jalen Weidemeyer and Jeremy Ruckert above Isaiah Likely, but Isaiah Likely is a dominant receiving threat and a pretty decent pass blocker. He had only one drop last year with 900 yards on top of that. And it's just more receiving threats for Trevor Lawrence. And his above-average run blocking is good enough for me. The Jaguars don't really have a tight end 1 on the roster, so Isaiah Likely could likely step into tight end 1 position and dominate with Trevor Lawrence. Next up is Martin Emerson. He's not the greatest corner in the world, but he's good enough where I think he can play some slot, he can play some boundary, and at worst is a really good backup. But I mean, with injuries or just with the poor cornerback play on this team after trading C.J. Henderson, I think Martin Emerson can step in and be really good for you. And Majai Sanders was there in the 4th round. He's a fringe second-round guy. I think it's more likely he gets taken in round 3. But the fact that he was available in round 4, I immediately picked him up. Again, he fits this scheme, adds more depth to that edge group because, I don't know what is going on with their edge 2 right now. I forget his name because he's played so poorly. Opposite, it'll come to me eventually. But their edge play is so poor outside of Josh Allen that I think Myjai Sanders can step into that third edge position. You know, he can be the relief edge to Kayvon Thibodeau and Josh Allen, and he can really shine in that role. So it gave me a B, and I'm actually okay with that. I know the Isaiah Likely pick is a little bit of a reach. Like I said, his pick 108, I picked him at 65. I think when you find a talent that you like, you got to get him. And Isaiah Likely is going to be one of those guys that starts rising up in day 2 to where he's not going to be available day 3. But besides that, I love Leo Chenal pick. I love the Martin Emerson pick. Myjai Sanders was a steal. So I'm cool with that draft. And again, Jaguars fans, if you want to let me know in the comments what you think, let me know. Next up, we have the Houston Texans. Now, this is a big draft. I'm excited for this draft. So I looked at trading back at number 3 overall because I feel like the Texans should, draft for the future. But I decided, you know what, let's just take Ike Mekwonu. He can play right tackle or can play left guard or right guard. He's going to be an elite guard prospect, but he's going to end up playing tackle. And if you do somehow get rid of Larry Tunsil, either it's next year or this year, even though he redid his contract, save some cap space. But if you move on from him next season, Ike Mekwonu can step into the left tackle role and thrive. But at worst, you have an elite all-pro type of guard. And at best, you have a franchise left or right tackle. So obviously get the Ike Mekwonu. I actually traded back from pick 13. I was trying to trade back with the Packers, but they didn't like any of my trade packages. So I decided, you know what? Let's go off the trade value. Let's trade back with the Chiefs. They traded up for a receiver, and let's slide back to 29. We'll pick up a second-round pick, a future second-round pick, and a future fourth-round pick. So they were able to have 2 second-round picks, and where they took, I'm not there yet. Actually, I picked 29. David Ojabo tore his Achilles, and that hurts. I wanted the Ravens to take David Ojabo, as every single person that's been doing mock drafts does. But if they don't take him, I think a team like the Texans is perfect. They can bank on how good he is and the potential that he showed at Michigan. You can be like, you know what? Let's rest him for an entire season. David, do not touch the field in 2022. We want you to rehab 100% from your Achilles injury, and we'll add a couple months onto it because we want to make sure that you are protected for your future. And I think the Texans are the perfect team that could do that because they need as many positions as possible. As you can see, I triple dipped at edge, 3 picks in a row, all at edge. But I think you bank on David Ojabo's future, and he could potentially become your franchise edge guy. And in round 2, with your second-round pick, you take Nick Bonitto, who had, I believe, one of the best overall grades by PFF as a pass rusher ever. Like, he's top 5 ever. I believe he's number 3, but he's a top 5 edge rusher ever in PFF grading scale, and that's exciting for me. I like Nick Bonitto. I think there's no chance. Well, actually, this is one of the first picks of the second round. So I think there actually is a chance that he could get taken right here or even earlier. But he's a fringe first round, probably going to be a top of the second round type of guy. Next up is Drake Jackson. Again, I think there's value in having 3 really good edges because that third guy can be your relief guy. If you can have an all-pro type of player in David Ojabo, a solid Nick Bonitto, and then a really solid third edge, that's a really good rotation. Next up in the third round you got Drake Jackson from the pick from the Chiefs. That's the pick, was Drake Jackson. So Dylan Parham is your third round pick, the first one of your third round. And again, with this team, I did a lot of offensive line work. I think offensive line is one of the most important positions for them. And I did offensive and defensive line, fix that this draft. As you can see, it's mostly edges, D tackles, and linemen. So Dylan Parham is a swing guard. He can play either guard position at a pretty elite level. I don't know about elite, but a very high level. I really like Dylan Parham in this scheme. Pretty good run blocker, pretty good pass blocker, but he really does shine pass pro. Then Phidarian Mathis. If this was any other D tackle class, he's a second round pick, but he slides to the 80th overall pick. Really solid run blocker. I think he's probably a better run blocker than pass rusher. I think that's perfectly okay. Grabbing a guy who it plays a very specific role in the third round is not a bad thing. Next up is Kellen Deisch. As you guys know, I love me some Kellen Deisch. So if he was there in the 4th round, I had to take him. Again, as I didn't really preface this in the beginning. I try, when I do my mock drafts for each team, I try to make sure that I don't double draft. So I can't take Leo Chenal in my Texans draft. He's unavailable. So now David Ojabo is not available in any of my other drafts. So the fact that I got Kellen Deisch this early, I'm okay with that. But Josh Jobe is a really solid corner. He's a project corner that you can work on. But within this corner room and this safety room, you don't really have a whole lot of projects. You have a lot of busts. But you lost a couple corners in free agency. Terrence Mitchell being one of them to the Patriots. This is a really solid draft in my opinion. It gives me an A. I probably would go about an A minus because like if David Ojabo doesn't come back healthy and he can never play again, that's an F. If Dylan Parham doesn't play as good as I think he can, that's an F. Kellen Deisch is a risky pick in my opinion. That can be an F. Like I probably go about an A minus B plus. But if I think Ike Mekwonu, a franchise lineman, I'm just gonna say lineman, a franchise lineman, David Ojabo, who has the franchise, edge potential, Nick Benito, who's a really good player, Drake Jackson, who could be a really solid rotational piece, then Phidarian Mathis at the end of the third round, and Kellen Deisch in the fourth. I do like this draft. I think the Texans would be really happy with this draft as well. Texans fans, let me know what you think. Moving on to the Titans. They don't really have any picks in the top 4 rounds because, as you can see, I only do 4 rounds because like the 5th, 6th, and 7th rounds, I don't really know those prospects, so I can't really say anything about them. But in this draft, Zion Johnson fell all the way to 26. He's not gonna fall to 26 in real life, but Zion Johnson was there at 26. The Titans need a left guard. They let go of, I believe it was Roger Saffold, right? Is that who I'm thinking of? I believe it was Roger Saffold. And they haven't replaced him. They have Nate Davis opposite of Roger Saffold at right guard. They had Dylan Radunes at right tackle, who they're hoping can play. He was a rookie last year, didn't play at all. Hopefully Dylan Radunes can play next year. You re-sign Ben Jones, have Taylor Lewan. You add Zion Johnson to the mix. That left tackle, left guard, center duo, I guess trio, elite. And if you can bank on Nate Davis continuing to develop and hopefully the potential of Dylan Radunes, that's an elite offensive line. And I grabbed Rondell Robinson. He is a gadget player, but you don't really have a gadget guy. You have Akeem Westbrook in the slots. You traded for You traded for Robert Woods to be your wide receiver 2. You have AJ Brown at wide receiver 1. The Julio Jones trade did not work for your team. It's okay. That's why they don't have a 2nd round pick. And I believe they don't have a 4th round pick as well because of that. I believe it was a 2nd and a 4th. But you don't have either of those picks because of Julio Jones. You cut him, get Rondell Robinson, bank on his developments. Because, Robert Woods isn't going to be there forever. He's probably about a 1 or 2 year rental. Hopefully you can develop Rondell Robinson. And at worst, he's a gadget guy. At best, he could slide in and be a starter for you. So I think that's a pretty good draft for them. A plus for Zion Johnson. Probably about a B minus for Rondell Robinson. I think it's probably about a B overall draft grade in my opinion. Hopefully, I think the Titans fans will like that. But let me know what you guys think in the description. Now, this is the draft that I really liked. I love this draft for the Colts. Like, I genuinely love this draft for the Colts. Arnold Abakidi is the 1st round pick. He will be a shocker at the end of the 1st round with Arnold Abakidi out of Penn State. He's insane. His size, his arm length, amazing. He's gonna be at the end of the 1st round pick. So the fact that he was there at 42, I had to take him. Brian Asamoah, he's undersized just like Darius Leonard, and he's going to be probably only a will linebacker, but I think Brian Asamoah, put him next to Darius Leonard, or at worst behind Darius Leonard. You have an undersized linebacker in Darius Leonard who can really help coach Brian Asamoah. Like, hey, don't let what they say about your size determine how your career plays out. You determine how your career plays out. Let's do this together. I think that'd be a really good person to help Asamoah develop. And again, he's going to be a will linebacker. So I think he can play next to Darius Leonard, and you can see what happens. Then Zach Tom, they haven't gotten a single left tackle in free agency. I believe they let Sam Tevy go, if I'm not mistaken. I believe Sam Tevy actually walked without an offer from the Colts. I think it's because they plan on drafting someone. There was no one in round 2 or 3 that I liked. It was mainly just right guards and right tackles. Like Darian Kennard was available, Abraham Lucas was available. But I don't want to bank on my future left tackle for Matt Ryan. I don't want to bank that on a guy moving from right tackle to left tackle. I want to get a bona fide left tackle, and a good one at that. Zach Tom had a 92.1 pass blocking grade. The problem is he's only 295. He is 6'5", it's about average for a left tackle size. He's only 295 though. Hopefully he can beef up a little bit. And he has history at center too. So if he doesn't start at left tackle and you somehow get a different left tackle to start, he can be that sixth guy in the line where he comes in at left tackle for injury, but he can also swing to center, and he can play two positions on the line. And I love versatility at the offensive line position. But yeah, an A, I love that. I love that grade. I'm okay with an A grade. So overall, I got a B for the Jaguars, A for the Texans, a C+ for the Titans, and an A for the Colts. Yeah, let me know what you guys think in the description. I think it was a pretty good draft for all four teams. But again, let me know what you guys think in the comments. If you guys do enjoy this video, please leave a like, comment, and subscribe. Hit the notification to be notified when I post next. And again, my draftathon will happen April 28th, the 29th, and the 30th. I'm excited for it. Just hit the notification bell. If I want to go live. I'll probably be doing the NFC and the AFC East next. So, look out for those videos. I'll see you guys later. Peace and bye.